Okay, good morning, afternoon, evening. I mean, depending on where you are and where you're watching this from. Hey, I first and foremost need to apologise because I know that I always say, I'm gonna try and do more videos, I'm gonna try and encourage people more, and then I don't. And then 5 years goes past and there's no video. But unfortunately, life can be life, and there's no excuse, but I sometimes I'm just super busy, and it's difficult to get a minute to just be like, oh, I'm going to do this. But still, no excuses. Here I am recording something for you guys that I think is important, and also that I think is relevant, because that's another thing. I want to make sure that if I'm doing anything, it's relevant. It is something that I'm dealing with actively, and it's something that I think that people will appreciate. First, again, as I always do, thank you to everybody that reaches out, that has found some kind of peace in watching the videos about vitamin D deficiency or health anxiety. It's always really nice for me to know that those videos help people. So thank you again. I know that I receive quite a lot of emails and messages from people, and I don't always respond. And the truth of the matter is that there's so many, and it can be a bit difficult for me to answer everybody and give you the attention that's needed. So apologies. I do try and get to it when I have time, and I will often go on the email or go on the Instagram and try and answer as many as I can in that moment. But I do know that there are one or two that might slip between my fingers and I don't quite get to it. So a major apologies for that. Just know that my thoughts are with you, and I hope that your recovery is going as smooth as possible. What I will advise is that you connect with the Facebook group that I've got. It's called Overcoming Vitamin D Deficiency. For this, obviously specifically for those dealing with vitamin D deficiency. It's a great online community with over 1,500 people who are also dealing with something similar to yourself, and it's great because everybody bounces questions back and forth from each other. It's a great space to, I guess, talk about what you're going through, cross-check symptoms and stuff like that, because I know doctors, they try their best, but they're not always great. So it's nice to have that community there of people. And there are other groups, it's not just that group. There are other groups available that you can key into, both on Instagram, Facebook, and I'm sure there's other people that create great content as well that might be of help. So that's that. So the reason I'm doing this video is I know for some of you might have watched my video on health anxiety, something that I was actively dealing with as a result of what I went through with my vitamin D deficiency. Now, all of us, doesn't matter where you are, have been somewhat impacted by what's happened with COVID-19. It has been random, to say the least. I just never knew that life would take the turn it's taken. I just didn't know. It's just one day, it was kind of and then the next day we're in lockdown. And I think it's difficult because I know when I've spoken about health anxiety and I've kind of given tips about how to overcome it, I never want people to feel as if there's a fix. And that's not me sounding negative. I feel like anxiety is one of those things that can hit anybody at any time. Obviously, for some of us, it might be more of a chronic thing, something that maybe sparks up without a prompt. And for other people, there are prompts, there are triggers. And when you narrow down on health anxiety to be specific, I have personally found that it is more so an issue for me when stuff like this happens. If there's something going around, or there's something to be worried about. So if somebody tells me they're really sick or whatever, then I might have a couple of thoughts where I'm just oh my God, I hope I don't have that, or I hope that's not going to happen to me. I've definitely been able to find ways to control it, which is great. And I haven't had serious panic attacks or the things that I was going through before. But I will say that COVID definitely took me to a similar space that I was in before. And that was because I guess it was impacting everybody, or it is impacting everybody. And I was scared. I was proper scared. During the thick of the lockdown for us in the UK, I I kind of spiraled a little bit. It wasn't as bad, but I definitely was feeling super anxious. I was super worried about my health. I started ordering test kits online, not like COVID test kits, but just like random stuff, and like testing my urine. I know people are just like, what? But yeah, I kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with it. I was like, I forgot what those things are called that you blow to check your lung capacity. But I was like, I ordered one of those. I was worried. I was really, really worried. I was really, really scared. If I coughed, I was like, ugh. If I felt like I was a bit hot, I was like, oh, what's happening? It's not nice, and I recognised it though, and I think that's often the difference when you're kind of going through it. You haven't recognised it or identified it as for what it is, anxiety, to when you do know, and you kind of can recognise some of the traits and the like, it's repetitive. So yeah, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole with that, and I wasn't in a good way. Worried sick. I mean, there is still an element of my worry now. It's not to say that it's all over. For those of us that are in the UK, a lot of the lockdown rules are slowly easing, but I still know people that have been impacted by what's happened with the pandemic. Obviously, loads of people have their own theories and thoughts and feelings on what's happened, but I'm not really here to debate realities or the pandemic itself or COVID. It's just more the impacts that this drastic change has had on us as a society, and I just know that I think I wanted to do a video during the time I was going through it, and I just couldn't. I didn't have energy. I was tired, very, very tired. Didn't want to talk about it. I was scared. I was watching the news, reading so many articles, and that's one thing that I'll advise against. Stay away from. It's like the whole Google thing. Don't do it. You're just going to find stuff that's going to scare you. It's good to be well informed, and I think you need to make sure that if you're keying into anything that is facts, apart from that, try not to read too many conspiracy theories or key into like massive conversations happening on Facebook with people that are not informed on what's going on. It's only going to make you worse. Further scaremongering, which is what a lot of the time media love. And I know that like false information can just further push you down into a bad space. You have to do what you need to do to make yourself feel safe. I mean, for those of us who are slowly easing back into like normality and going back to work, just do the things that you need to do to make yourself feel safe. So if you need to wear a mask, wear the mask. If you need to reassess your route to work, do that. Do what makes you feel comfortable, but do remember that, sound rude, life, you have to find your rhythm again. You can't allow this to cripple you. It's so easy for it to happen, because as I said, it happened to me. But I'm fortunate because I was in the process of moving, and it's weird how life can kind of throw you the age you need without you knowing. Because I think that if I wasn't moving, I might have got worse, but because I needed to kind of pick myself up and I needed to crack on and find a place and stuff like that, then I just did it. I kind of found that inner strength, and I was like, do it. And from then I've been fine, and haven't been as worried, and I've been, paying attention to what I need to pay attention to, and just looking after myself and easing myself back into my normal, because I have to work. I mean, I don't have a choice here. So yeah, I just really wanted to come on and say, because I know a lot of people are going through it. A lot of people are feeling scared. A lot of people are worried to go back into the workplace. They don't quite know what to expect. I know a lot of you might have been impacted. You might have lost loved ones, and if that is the case, I'm so sorry. So it might be easy coming from me, and I don't want to sound like I'm being insensitive, but I just want to remind you of the dangers of the mind, I guess. And sometimes we can allow our minds to travel down this rabbit hole and feed us stuff that's just not good. If anything right now is important, it's your health, and it's ensuring that you are in a space that is going to allow you to look after your body. So even if it's like taking walks, like I go out for walks as much as I can, go to the park, get fresh air, make sure you're eating well, there's never been a better time to do that. It's so important to do that and just kind of like prep in the way that you know best. Nobody can tell you what that looks like per se for you, because it's all different for all of us. And in terms of access, I know that can be different too, but yeah, we just kind of need to just get yourself into a mind space and get your body into a place where you're doing all that you can to ensure that everything's going to be okay. Another thing, so I wrote down some notes, things that I think could help, is just to connect. As I said, join groups on Facebook. I don't want this to sound like I'm counteracting my point about not feeding into bad like opinions and stuff, but there are positive groups out there. As I said, with like overcoming vitamin D deficiency, I know there are other groups, support groups, things like health anxiety that you can key into that will help you. You'll find people that are going through what you're going through right now, and just having that person to talk to that is going through something similar can be so helpful. So do that. One thing that I do, and I think I've mentioned it before, is writing stuff down. Sometimes writing stuff down or talking to yourself, it's unbelievable how powerful just expressing yourself can be. When I talk, I can like talk myself out of stuff, and I think we all have that power. See, if you have symptoms of something and it needs seeing to, you need to go and get that addressed. But at the same time, I think, you know, we have that power to kind of rationalize with ourselves. When you kind of empower yourself to do so, I do think that there's a lot of good that can come out of it. So just talk to yourself, write it down. This is how I'm feeling. I feel rough. I'm scared. I feel like it's uncertain. I feel like I've not connected with people as much as I want to. Like, I don't know what to do next. And just talk yourself through it. Talk yourself out of it. It can be really powerful. And if that doesn't work, as I said, connect with people and talk to other people that would understand what you're going through and be able to empathize. I don't want to rabbit on for too long, but I just thought I'll do this little video. It's not that 12 minutes of me rabbiting on, but I thought it might be helpful. It's kind of, you know, it's been a tough time, and as I said, I'm really sorry if anybody has been negatively impacted by this, and has lost anyone or has been sick themselves. It's just been so weird. I think we can all agree that it's been odd, but we definitely want to move forward positively, and we want to empower our minds, make sure that we are looking after ourselves. So as I said, just make sure you're not keying into rubbish. Don't key into rubbish, don't listen to rubbish, don't scare yourself. If you find that you're impacted by news, stay away from it. Only key into the information that you need. Make sure that you try and connect as much as possible. Connect with groups. If you're feeling lonely especially, I think it can be helpful. Write stuff down, express yourself. Don't kind of shy away from kind of, you know, having that out there. It's not that anyone's saying like suppress your feelings. No, we don't need that. We need you to be as real with yourself as possible, and look after yourself. There's nothing better than if you find that you're not as active as you'd like to be or as you should be, then try and be more active. I was following a lot of like YouTube videos, and they help, like YouTube routines. If you like yoga, do that. If you want to go for a walk, go for a walk. If maybe you can't be as active due to whatever reason, then just try as much as possible to get fresh air. If you've got a garden, just, you know, connect with the universe, connect with the earth, Mother Nature, should I say. It's important. And just try to stay on top of your mind, recognise anxiety for what anxiety is, and try as much as possible to differentiate. If your symptoms are not maybe consistent, there is a high chance that it's because you're worrying, and you'll be surprised at what worry and anxiety can do, and the kind of symptoms that you can get off of the back of just being nervous. But as I said, if you have got symptoms and you are worried, then you need to do wherever you are in terms of your country, you need to do whatever they've asked you to do. So if that's to keep yourself in lockdown, lock yourself down, do that. If you need to call somebody, then call somebody. But yeah, I hope that this has been helpful. Just kind of, I guess, you guys knowing that I've also, you know, it comes and it goes, and there's different things that can trigger all of us, and it's just about recognising it. But yeah, I hope you're all well. Please do comment below, connect with each other below. You can join the Facebook group if you are dealing with vitamin D specifically. If you're not, as I said, there are other groups that are great, and it'll be nice for you to key into those. And I hope that this has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and just wishing you safe recovery, sound mind, and sound health. Bye.